everybody. Welcome to another round of Canje Plays, and today we're getting back into Middara Unintentional Malum Act 1. I can't believe I said that without messing it up. Small victory. Alright, so um yeah, we're getting back into this. Now I put on Twitter as well as I posted on the Foreteller Discord and my Discord channel just to let people know that the first 20 minutes of this, because I counted up, I said these are the story points, counted up the times in there, is 20 minutes of lore before we get into actual combat. But it's building up to what the combat is, so it's not just anything happening. Something specific's going on. I haven't read into it, I just counted up the times to make sure. So, the first 20 minutes of this is going to be lore, then we're going to get into our combat, and then there's another, like, couple minutes of lore before we get into the next scenario. So I just want to give people warning. This one is I saw in the title. I didn't read anything. I just saw in the title and it said boss battle. Okay, so this one is a boss battle, and I guess they're building up to it to see what's happening, what's going on. All right. What I want to do first is thank my Patreon members. Thank you so much. You make this possible. You are awesome. I love you all, every one of you. Thank you, my YouTube subscribers. I appreciate you so much as well. Love goes out to you as well for helping me reach the 400 sub milestone and moving on to the next set. I still plan to have that 400 sub stream. I just have to get it scheduled to take care of it. But I will always live up to my promises. Okay, so let's get some information, get down to the table to show you the upgrades. Then we'll do the foreteller, because I did do some upgrades since I got some XP. Then we'll do the foreteller 20 minutes and then get into combat. Alright? Okay, information first. Middara 8.9 Board Game Geek has not shifted. It's probably going to go up to 9 though. If you see the overall rank went to 734, remember before it was like at 791 or something? Thematic is about 75. Best played 4-player unless you're playing with a 2-player variant. 60 minutes to play. Nope, it's a lot more than that. And ages 15 plus. I'd probably say, and the weight is up at 3.89. It's going to go up because you got to remember every single little thing you can do. But if you remember it, 3.89 doesn't seem so bad. All right, made by some wonderful designers, a great group of artists, and published by Succubus Publishing. Act 2 and Act 3 are going to be released hopefully next year, and we get to see some really cool stuff with that. The audio on Act 1, which is hosted by I gotta make sure I say this properly. Hosted by Foreteller, but not made by Foreteller. The audio is made by Succubus Publishing, but they're using Foreteller's medium to be able to get it to everyone. Hence why it's free on the Foreteller website. So Foreteller's free, Middara's free, and you get a lot of really other great works out there that Foreteller has done, like Jaws of the Lion, Gloomhaven, all that other good stuff above and below. So just check that out if you're interested. I enjoy the narrations. The Jaws of the Lion narrations is what got me into loving Foreteller so much. So enjoy. These narrations they're good. I just got spoiled by what Foreteller did. But they're good. They're good. But Foreteller is Foreteller. What are you gonna do? They're awesome. Okay, so let me show you my upgrades, and then I will get to the narration. Alright, so the first thing I did with the little bit of tiny money I got was I got Remy this to build out her Dragoon set. So the barbed breastplate. Basically, when she's within range, if someone attacks, she deals them 3 damage. So it boosts her health just a little bit more. Not by too much, but just a little bit more. That's a good one. Then I got that extra XP, and with that I was able to buy some level 1 stuff. I said I was going to go mend, but I didn't. So with Zeke, I'm going with first more stabbies. So imbued fear of a cure. So when making an attack, this attack gains +2 damage, and then he can inflict darkness. So this is pretty good. So it's the +2 attack that I wanted, but inflicting darkness is good too. In terms of Rook, because he only ever rolls once, he moves and then he just hits one good time, I gave him a Hammer Helm. So at least if that one fails, even if it's the black die, he can re-roll any of those dice in his pool. So Hammer Helm will be like, you only get to hit once, but at least you can try to hit properly. For Remy, to build out the Dragoon set, I was on the fence. So there is a familiar on here that's a dragon. And if you're a Dragoon, when a Final Fantasy Dragoon, whenever you see them strike, you see a dragon like hit or explode or something. So I was thinking of getting the familiar to make it thematic, but it would be thematic and not functional. So instead, I went with this. I went with Forebode on the assemblage line. And it says at any time, reroll any dice except the black dice that you rolled or that were rolled against you. So as she's hopping into the center of it all, setting up Whirlwind, if someone hits her, she can exhaust that to make them re-roll their dice if it's really big. And remember, she also has the time a fate engine that lets her ignore symbols. So if it's a bad hit on that reroll, we can ignore all symbols and then it'd just be straight damage. I also got her this guy, the Ring of Blood. When you deal damage to an opponent, heal 2. So basically, she's going in. She's been taking a lot of damage as she has. So at least if she hits somebody, she heals 2. For Nightingale, out of the bag, I put in her. Out of our bag and the things that we got, I decided to give her the Wand of the Depths just for the casting upgrade. So she's a ranger. She's good from range 8, which is fantastic. But as I upgrade her, it's going to go back to 7, and then I think I'll probably stay around the 7 range instead of the 8 because I want the barbed shot one. So I gave her the 1 only because I gave her this one. Because when that happened to Remy last match, I was like, I need that. Which was Corrosive Ideal, which inflicts poison and spellcast 6. So in SOI, if I casted 6, I get to roll an orange die instead of my purple die for casting, and add that number to the value that tries to hit the creature. If I inflict poison, that means that at the start of each turn of the characters, I roll a purple die and inflict that much damage to them, and it keeps going and going and going. So I really like the idea of that kind of burn now, so she can spend the skill point or action point or whatever it's called to equip the staff, spend do the infection to then cast Corrosive Ideal for free, and then get out of the way to prepare to re-equip her bow and start shooting from that point on. So it's kind of like a run-in burst back out type of deal. I'm toying with it, but it should be pretty good. That's where we landed. I also got Zeke his first weapon upgrade, which is Masterwork on on one of his daggers, so he could get a +1 to hit. I just need to get one more there and one more on Rooks, and I'll be solid. So, hey Heather, what's going on? So that's the plan. That's the plan on what I got going. All right, if you can see up here, and I'll show you. If you can see up here, you'll see that I got Foreteller up, and you'll see that there's Murdered Informant, Sneaking into the Crime Scene, and Melody. These 3 are the lore that leads up to this boss battle, right? And it starts off with this, and this is, once again, if you want to know what fan service is, there's it screaming at you right there. So, this is starting off with this. It's the Murder Informant's 8 minutes 39 seconds. The Sneaking into the Crime Scene's 10 minutes and 14 seconds, and Melody is only 16 seconds. So around about 20 minutes that's going to go through to get everything done. But I just want to let you know that that's happening. I'm about lore. I think the story is worth the read. I really like what's happening, and I'm concerned for Nightingale. So I want to know what all this means, and I'll be flipping through this, showing you the art. Getting out of the heat and smoke. The smoke? What's going on with the smoke? What's happening with the smoke? I hope you're okay. Well, the heat, yes, the hot temperatures. Smoke? Are you in California? Or is something going down? So yeah. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna queue up Foreteller. We're gonna do the 20 minutes, get it done, then have ourselves a battle to which I might lose and die. We don't know, but we'll see. Okay. Whew. Here we go. do this, we do this, and do this.
Main quest: Murdered informant. They stopped at a street vendor for dinner before making their way back to Malik's mansion. Remy recognized Malik's personal guard even from a distance. There were at least half a dozen men congregating outside the mansion. Every one of them wore black cloaks, or black armor, or black masks. "What do you think's going on?" Nightingale asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Do you think we should come back later, maybe?" Remy thought about it for a few seconds, then shook her head. "No. Everybody stay close. I'll get you in." Remy advanced purposefully towards the front door, squaring her shoulders and not looking away from the door. It didn't work. One of the men stepped in front of her, blocking the door with broad shoulders. "Sorry, you can't come in." "Like hell I can't." Remy ducked under one of his arms. "It's my house." As big as he was, the man seemed surprised by her determination. He actually dodged out of her way, and Remy was able to shove on the door. It was unlocked and swung in with the violence of her pressure. None of the house servants were in the entryway, though there were a few startled guards. They moved as though to lift their weapons. Remy glowered at them. "What are you going to do? Attack me? Doesn't my family pay you to protect us?" One of the guards whispered to the other and they both relaxed. Then they lowered their weapons, reluctantly getting out of her way. "A little fiery, aren't we?" Zeke mused in awe that Remy could be so commanding. "Well, it's my place. I should be able to come and go as I please," Remy said with a quick glance back at him. "Fair enough," Zeke replied. Remy still remembered the house, and so she had no trouble leading the way. She could hear voices from further in, probably the courtyard. One was her father's, though she couldn't place the identity of the other one, but it was a female voice. "It couldn't have been an accident," the woman said. "Whoever took it knew at least one of the combinations. The evidence for that was clear enough from what was left. We need to make the firmest possible action before the situation gets away from us. They might bring the thing to my estate next." The female voice was practically screeching. "What we can't do is tip our hand," Malik replied. "There are too many in the city who would seize on such a visible sign of weakness. Our reaction must be firm and swift, but not panicked." Around the first corner was a set of wide doors leading into the courtyard. As Remy rounded them, she suddenly had an uninterrupted view. Her father stood beside one of the fountains, and at his side a sleazy-looking girl was talking to him. She was dressed quite casually, and her clothing resembled something someone would wear on Earth. Ripped jeans and a half-open leather top. She was lithe and thin, with full sleeve tattoos of twisting plants rising up both her arms. Her hair was bright green, and a pair of pointed vulpine ears emerged from the side of her head. "Dad, what's going on?" Remy called from the doorway, glancing inside. There were 2 more guards inside, though they wore white and blue colors and flanked the woman instead of her father. "Remy, you're safe." Malik looked over at her, and Remy made her way over. Her father embraced her with noticeable relief. "Thank God you're okay. Grace Jong said she hadn't seen you and I was worried." "We're fine." Remy looked up at the stranger, confused. "Grace Jong? I didn't even know she was actually expecting us. How would she have even known we were here?" "I know everything that happens in my city." The thin girl had turned towards Remy now. "Circumstances have occurred that made me and Malik worry for your safety, but I can see that you're perfectly fine." Remy blushed and then tried to straighten herself for a formal bow. "Duchess, I didn't know it was you. If I had known, I would—" Grace cut her off with a short tone. "Oh, please, save the bullshit formalities for the puffed-up royalty of Alenia. They have no place here." Grace looked past Remy, finally noticing her companions. "Zeke, is that you?" Zeke simply nodded. He hadn't recognized Grace and realized at that moment that even if she was supposedly present for his arrival to Middara, he didn't even remember seeing her before. "Cousin!" Grace squealed, her tone changing from deadly serious to jovial. "Malik told me you were here. He said you were headed to my castle to stay the night. You really should have visited." Zeke returned an awkward hug. "We found an inn we liked before we made it. We likely would have come by eventually." "No doubt. And you—" Grace had noticed Zeke's other female companion, and she extended a hand to Nightingale. You're Balthazar's youngest, if I'm not mistaken. Nightingale took the offered hand, though she didn't get a chance to say anything. Remy met her father's eyes again. What's with all the guards? There's been a murder in Romstead. Malik's expression darkened. There was a moment of shocked silence. Murder? Remy stammered. You can't be serious. Rook hadn't been introduced, but even so, he seemed to notice the informality of the meeting. Nobody would kill another human being when they could live forever? Grace finished for him. Oh, they would. Don't be naive. There are scoundrels with little moral compunction here, just like back on Earth. As Duchess of Romstead, seeing their punishment as swift and brutal as possible is my responsibility. She frowned disapprovingly at them. You should have stayed at my castle last night, where there are guards and high walls. It's worse than just a murder, Malik added, addressing his daughter directly. Sweetie, the man who was murdered was one of my information brokers, the one I rely on for information about exotic magic. Whoever killed him got away with all kinds of important documents. I'm afraid that finding anything about Theodosian is going to be much harder now. Remy was frozen for a moment, unable to respond. Nightingale's life depended on learning the truth about Theodosian, and her best hope for finding it had just been murdered. Well then, we'll just have to track down the one who did it. We've already fought dozens of monsters. What's a few more? Malik's expression twisted with a wave of mixed emotions. I promised your mother I wouldn't get you involved in all this. Let me handle this. There is danger here you can't imagine. I'm not going to sit by and watch my friend die because some asshole stole the papers we need. Remy put a hand on her hip and tried not to look frail in the presence of her father. Grace interjected, sounding annoyed. Watch your friend die? Nightingale shot Remy an angry glance, and Remy realized what she had just said. Remy sheepishly looked over and saw that both her father and Grace were looking at her, expecting an explanation. It's really important we find more about Theodosian. Nightingale's life might depend on it, Remy pleaded. What? Grace's eyes went wide. Where is Balthazar in all this? Why is his daughter in such a perilous position? He'd have our heads if he even knew she was in this room. If we got Nightingale killed by letting her quest on her own, we'd be lucky if our heads were the only ones the arsons took. Malik nodded in agreement. Grace is right, Remy. You can't get involved. If anything happened to any of you, it would mean trouble for all of us. Please, just let us take care of it. If we hear anything, we'll let you know. Remy glared back. Yeah? She glanced over her shoulder at her friends. They all watched her, including Nightingale. She was obviously trying to hide it, but there was a look of desperation in Nightingale's eyes. It was more than Remy could stand. Fine. Whatever. You just take care of it then. She turned away. Find me if you change your mind. We'll just stay out of your way. She stormed past her friends, dragging Nightingale by her wrist. They followed her out the doors of the room and around a corner. Remy! Malik yelled after her, but she kept moving, ignoring her father. She didn't hear the rest of what Malik had to say because by then she'd already made it to the front door. She held it open for her friends before slamming it shut and glaring at the guards, daring them to try to make her stay. They didn't.
Nice, nice. So, story's building. Story is building, and it is good. All right, so we got sneaking into this crime scene. So this is the long one. Hey, Nikki, how's it going? Welcome. And Heather, yeah, I saw that about the fires in Canada. I didn't know you were in Minnesota. Definitely, I hope everybody's safe and it's not blowing in your direction or the smoke, causing any breathing issues. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and sneaking into the crime scene. This is the big one. This is setting up. This is setting up the showdown. Setting it up. So here we go.
Sneaking into the crime scene. They didn't go far from Malik's manor. They walked to the nearest central intersection where a great stone balcony protected pedestrians from an impressive drop down into the city's lower tiers and towards the ocean. Nightingale found it hard to appreciate the view just now. Malik's informant had been murdered, and with him, her own future might be dead too. She turned her back on the ocean, facing her concerned friends. Well, we obviously can't wait. She tried to keep the desperation and fear out of her voice. though she wasn't sure she'd done a convincing job. "You're right," Rook said. "So what should we do? Find another informant somewhere else?" "No," Nightingale replied. "This one apparently already had what we needed. There might not be anybody else in the whole damn kingdom who knows about Theodosian magic." Zeke looked out of the ocean. "Maybe not. But how can we find a killer the authorities can't?" "I can take you there." A horrible voice inside of Nightingale's head resonated. It sounded like a thought, except that it wasn't her own. There was a distinctly alien quality about it, one that produced an involuntary wave of nausea along with it. Startled by the voice, Nightingale jumped back, striking the stone railing with her tail. She didn't fall, though it did sting painfully where she'd hit her tail. She looked around, but found only her friend staring at her. "Theodosian leaves a stain on your world wherever it goes, much like humans do." With each new word, a wave of nausea hit Nightingale, making her feel unsteady. How could a thought sound so smug, so full of itself? She wanted to hit something, but the only thing in front of her was Zeke looking dumbly at her behind a cigarette. "Why don't you come out so I can kick your ass?" Nightingale said with a panicked voice. Zeke looked around and then back to the princess. Night, are you okay?" She stumbled, then clung to Zeke's arm so that she wouldn't fall. "It's talking to me," Nightingale said, feeling sick. Her friends all glanced at each other, their eyes full of worry. "Night?" Zeke mumbled, putting an arm around her. "Are you okay?" Nightingale didn't say anything. After a few moments of silence from the Malama, Nightingale regained her composure and stood without Zeke's help. "It's talking to you? The Malama?" Rook asked, glancing around them nervously as if the creature would appear at any moment. Nightingale nodded, her eyes wide. "I heard it back in Balthazar's study. I was hoping that it was just—" She shook her head and trailed off. "What did it say?" Rook was curious, though he felt a little bad about it. "It doesn't matter. It's gone now. I'm okay." Nightingale's color slowly started to return to her face. Zeke looked concerned, but he didn't ask about the voice in her head. Instead, he proposed a plan. "I suggest we just find out where the murder happened." Zeke wearily watched Nightingale, his cigarette drooping to one side of his mouth. "My cousin rules this city, right? And if the murder is such a big deal, I bet everybody is talking about it. We could just ask around and see where it happened. The crime scene should be a good place to start." Nightingale nodded. "Maybe we'll get lucky and the murderer left behind the info we need." It seemed like wishful thinking, but Nightingale didn't much mind. They found the informant's house after less than an hour of searching. Zeke had been right. All he had to do was ask, and anyone who knew his family was happy to point them in the right direction. They found the house on one of the lowest levels of the city, only just above the ocean itself. Unfortunately, when they arrived, the house was guarded. Outside, its doors were flanked by 2 men, though they were clearly not with the city watch. They wore the same black as Malik's house guards, and lurked near the house instead of standing out in the open. "You guys wait here." Remy slid her tools away, straightening herself. "I'll talk to the guards, then let you in from the inside." Rook frowned. "Are you sure, Remy? Those aren't city guards, and it's already dark. You sure they won't try something?" She nodded. "They're Black Hand. They'll know Malik's daughter even if they never met me. They'll listen." "What's the Black Hand?" Zeke asked, glancing once around the corner at the guards. "Sounds like a shady group." "It's my dad's organization." Remy's confidence faltered at Zeke's mention of them being shady. "I know my dad's in charge of the group. I think they must be spies or private contractors for the aristocracies." She shook her head vigorously. "We have bigger problems right now. You guys hold on." Remy left them. "Yeah, that's not a super shady response." Zeke scratched at the back of his head, watching Remy approach the Black Hand guards from afar. "Her dad looks like a supervillain, and he has henchmen? That's strike 2, I think." Rook held up a hand with an angry shushing noise, and Zeke went silent. They watched as Remy strode out onto the street, walking straight for the door. "Excuse me, you two," she called. "I have a message from my father, Malik." Nightingale watched a few minutes of tense conversation from behind a stunted shrub, not moving so as to blend into the shadows. Zeke and Rook waited beside her, all three of them ready to spring to Remy's aid if she needed it. She didn't, and soon enough the guards left in a hurry. After they'd left, Remy entered the house and a long minute passed before her face appeared from the now open front door. She waved at them urgently to come towards her. "No way! Good job!" Nightingale said as she moved towards Remy. "What did you tell those guards to get them to leave?" Nightingale stopped talking as she neared Remy and saw her face. It was pale, and Remy's eyes were wide, irises lost in her round pupils. Nightingale was about to ask what was wrong when the stench hit her, and she nearly doubled over to retch. The odor was heady, and so thick she could practically see the haze floating through the house, like rotting, half-cooked meat left out long enough to get maggoty. "Sweet Jesus, what is that?" Zeke sounded just as queasy as Nightingale felt. "It looks worse than it smells," Remy answered, her voice barely a squeak. She wasn't lying. As the group shut the door behind them, Nightingale had to pause to take in the gruesome sight. If Nightingale imagined what it might be like for someone to explode from the inside, she wouldn't have been far off. Blood and bits of flesh coated every surface of the small front room. It was concentrated around a desk and chair in a series of gruesome splatters. Where much of the wreckage was mercifully blended gore, there were frighteningly human pieces scattered about too. Some bits looked like they'd almost been cooked, while others were raw and had flies buzzing around them in low circles. Nightingale found a clean corner of the house to vomit. She spent several minutes hyperventilating, trying and failing to ignore the smell. When she finally returned to where her friends were, she found them investigating. They were huddled around a black ledger. Behind them, Surrey was floating and reading the ledger over Rook's shoulder. Surrey was still formed of light, and the violet glow she brought made the room even more ghastly. Nightingale swayed a bit as she listened to Rook read. "Anzu of the pure waters recovered 19 talents of gold. Pascal's scepter of rubies. Lord Beer, 1 carved puzzle." Surrey cut him off. "Those names should not be here," she flowed across the room, glancing about. "Rook, these names came from my realm. Every one of them has been killed." "On Middara?" Zeke frowned down at the list. "There are that many of you here?" She nodded. "We are all subject to the rules of this world in different ways. Those are all dark names, but that does not justify the way they died." Blue storm clouds seemed to roll about Surrey's feet, cracking with thunder that didn't produce sound. "That might be property stolen from the dead. Dangerous spoils, Rook. Your kind should not tamper with the possessions of creatures like these." Rook shut the book, tucking it away into a massive pocket. "So what? This guy was peddling rare and dangerous artifacts? Maybe someone or something killed him for the artifacts." Rook glanced around the room. "I mean, I don't see any of them here." Zeke shrugged. "I'd rather think about this outside." "Good idea." Remy still looked pale as she led the way towards the door. "I could use some fresh air." They were almost to the back door when something crashed from below the house. A faint female voice sounded from somewhere just below the floorboards, though Nightingale couldn't make out the words. Rook pointed silently to a scuffed patch of the floor just in front of them. He reached down and pulled sharply on an uneven junction between 2 floorboards. A hatch swung open, revealing a ladder down into the gloom. The interior might be dark, but it was thankfully devoid of blood. There was no need for deliberation. Nightingale followed Rook down the ladder, Remy and Zeke just behind her. It led to a cellar bigger than the whole house above it. Shelves had been carved into the walls and all were full. "Hello?" Nightingale called into the dark, stepping forward a little. "Is someone there?" She already had her weapon drawn. After all, this might very well be the killer. "Hello?" Someone replied from the darkness, imitating Nightingale's fearful tone perfectly. "Is someone there?" They froze, and then a female form contorted within the darkness. It walked strangely, jerking and stumbling along. With a snap of her fingers, the cellar lit in a purple glow as huge eyes opened seemingly from nowhere.
Oh boy. And we're at boss fight. So this is boss fight Melody, page 92. And this is what she looks like. The narrations weren't too bad. I thought it was good. It built a good story. That's her, Melody. And all her Anime fan. Gotta close the poor girl. Clothe the poor girl. So, boss fight melody. Strange eyes hovered in the darkness. They eerily watch in silence while emanating a purple glow that shines across the damp wooden floor of the cellar. The woman on the far end of the cellar contorts inhumanly and stares in your direction. So, it's only two tiles. It said 69 and 71. Place 4 eyes of Magdalene. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 melody, the subjugated oblation standee, which is this. This is Melody, just like the picture I showed you before. So she is here. We've got some rough terrain. We've got a lot of boxes and stuff that's blocking line of sight. Our end condition, we need to defeat Melody to win. If all of our ventures are defeated, we lose the condition. Special encounter rules. Melody, the subjugated oblation. When setting up this encounter, reveal the small card and the large card for UM5, which is this, to access Melody's initiative and intelligent combat cards. These cards will be used during this encounter. When Melody is defeated, read the following hidden text. Then it has ambushed. When setting up this encounter after dealing the initiative cards, move Melody forward 1 spot on the initiative track. 1 spot, not to the front. Alright, so then we're talking about these eyes. It says the eyes of Magdalene. These tokens represent the magical presence of an otherworldly being Melody has brought to this realm. These tokens may be targeted by attacks and spells as though they were a figure. In addition, an adventurer may occupy their space and may target them while occupying their space. These tokens have 5 health, 10 defense, no armor, and a conviction value of 2 purple dice. Eyes of Magdalene do not make break attacks and do not drop loot. If Melody ever places an Eye of Magdalene, players roll 2 purple dice and consult the chart below to determine how many tokens are to be placed. 2 to 9, 1, 10 to 14, 2. Anytime Eyes tokens are placed, players always place the first Eye token on tile 69, this one, on the farthest space possible from the adventurer, so that would be to the wall. Then they place a second eye if required on tile 71. So 1 tile here, far away from us, the other tile here, on the furthest space possible from the adventurers in this area. Okay? There may never be more than 4 eyes of Magdalene on the board. So if it says to do another one and we don't have it, we don't got it. Okay, so at the start of Melody's first turn, choose a random adventure and read the following hidden text. We got that. The first time Melody has damage tokens placed on her, after placing an eye token, read the following text. Okay. So this is Melody's card. Hey Sakabra, what's going on? Did you see that D10 holders I printed for her? I haven't seen them yet. I closed down Discord while I was streaming, but I'm gonna check if they're posted in the Discord. I'll check them out afterwards for sure. You're doing like some really good work on there. For my gold thing, instead of acquiring money, I decided to use this, which is the gold counter for Dice Throne Adventures. It says gold on it. Might as well use it, right? That'll be my gold use. Okay. So this is the subjugated oblation. Dear Scarlet, oh God, where do I begin? I hope you aren't mad at me. I hope you never find out what happened to me. But if you're reading this, please forgive me. I couldn't enjoy my new life on Middara knowing that I could have done something to save Oliver. The advancement can save him. Oliver doesn't have to suffer. I just had to find a way to bring him here, to get him out of that damn hospital he's been stuck in. It's dangerous, not just for me, but for you too. If you were here, I know what you would do. I know what you would say. You wouldn't be afraid. You're never afraid. The Black Hand told me there's a way. Uh-oh. They told me over and over again about the consequences. They say that I'd lose myself, that the creature they're going to put inside of me will absorb my psyche until we are one, which is what's happening tonight. I don't know how it all works. or what it even means, but the organization has promised to bring you and Oliver to Middara if I volunteer. I'm going to do it. I should have done it a year ago, but I was afraid to. Now I pray every night that I didn't wait too long, that Oliver isn't already. God, I can't even write it. Please, Scarlet. He's everything to me. I hope saving Oliver from his illness and saving you from that hellhole of a home will make up for leaving both of you. They're waiting for me now. I fear my sacrifice will go unnoticed, and it scares me. I'm such a coward. I guess that's why I'm even writing this. Deep down, I hope someone reads it and thinks that I did the right thing. I hope you think I did the right thing. All right. Flip, flip. Melody. Oh, let me hide foreteller. Melody. Give you Melody and all her scariness. She has 30 health, 12 shielding, 6 movement, no armor, and she rolls red dice to attack. Red dice hurt. They hurt bad. So she's a boss. Passive. Melody has nimble. I gotta hold this down. Melody has nimble. Melody draws line of sight as though she occupies the same space as all eyes of Magdalene, in addition to the space she occupies. Okay. So she's here, 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 and here. When Melody would be dealt damage, and there are still eyes of Magdalene on the board, reduce that damage to 0. Oh. If damage was reduced to 0 this way, deal 1 irreducible damage to all eyes of Magdalene instead. After Melody is dealt damage, place an eye of Magdalene on the board. So, this is tricky. Hey Brian, what's going on? It is Ultimacia! Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I was just thinking that. So it's, so basically, to do full damage to her, I have to break all the eyes. But as soon as I hit her, another eye pops up. And I can't hurt her until all the eyes are gone. Oh boy. Okay. Then it's so she's a spellcaster too. I don't ooh. Okay, so there are no okay, so if there are no opponents adjacent to her, cast spell 6 against all opponents within line of sight. Ooh. Okay. So let me read these eyes again. Melody has nimble. Nimble. What does nimble mean? 20, 32. This is going to be an interesting fight. Nimble. The first time each turn this figure can dodge an attack, they dodge. During this dodge, if the figure doesn't roll a skull, add +1 to the result. I'm going to need to remember that. I'm going to put that over here because I'm going to need to remember that. Also, Melody draws line of sight as though she occupies the same space as all the eyes of Magdalene, in addition to the space she occupies. So where she couldn't get line of sight here from her because that barrel blocks and that barrel blocks, so she's just here. This eye sees here. This eye sees here, which still doesn't hit, but that eye's got a view on us. And this eye doesn't because there's a wall there, so it'd be here. But this eye's got us dead to rights. Okay. Wait until you see her sister Harmony and Symphony. Yeah, I or few. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got it. This is tactical, purely. Here we go. Alright, so all the basically she draws line of sights from all the eyes. But here's my question, and this could be for anyone who's played it. Hey Edgar, what's going on? This could be for anyone who's played this. Don't tell me about the fight. All I need to know is when it comes to spell casting. Oh, never mind. It says it on the card. Because I was like, when it comes to spell casting, is it still just her sphere of influence of 4? But no, it says cast spell 6 against all opponents within line of sight and inflict condemn. that means that if the spell hits me, I get condemned. And condemn says, or I could die. Condemn. Where is it? At the status check, roll the black die. If the result is a skull, you are defeated. So I could lose this so simply. Because she's going to cast this spell with Condemn, and then at the start of every one of their turns, they could just immediately die, knowing my dice rolls. So Forebode, nope, Forebode doesn't do a reroll. I don't think there's anything. So Remy could die. You could die. All of them can. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh. Okay. Is there an opponent adjacent? Then doing so that's continue down for the spell cast. Is there an opponent adjacent? If not, continue down. If there is, make a melee attack against each opponent within reach 2. Then swap places with the furthest opponent within line of sight. Continue down. Is there an opponent within line of sight and this ability has not been used this encounter? Summon the Exalted Esper, Minos the Contractor, against the opponent with the highest total. Oh my. This guy. So look what this guy does. Minos the Contractor, Exalted Esper. An opponent within SOI is dealt magic damage equal to the number rolled using both of their conviction dice, then inflict condemn. So she can summon this thing. She said if there's an opponent within line of sight and this ability has not been used this encounter. Okay, so it's a one-time burn, but still. Is there an opponent within line of sight? Cast that. So if all that fails, is there an opponent within line of sight? Cast the spell 6 against the opponent with the lowest conviction value within line of sight and roll 2 purple, 2 orange, and 2 red. Deal 1 magic damage per book. Damn. Okay. I'm just gonna put her right here. Damn. Alright, so I got reading to do. Holy Anna. Here, put this book here because there's a lot of triggers happening. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have to take this by the numbers because there's a lot of stuff happening. If she goes first, I'm screwed. If she goes second, I'm screwed. Zeke. Nightingale. Rook. Remy. Oh. And Melody at the end. But remember, Melody moves up 1 as it said at the start at the first initiative turn. So she moves up behind Remy. Okay. Okay. Alright. Zeke's going first. We need to take these eyes OWT out. Alright. If you go here, it says that you can occupy the same space and attack it, so that can hide us. Wow. Alright, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gets us to 6. Yeah, you can't because the barrel blocks you. You got a beat on them. You can't. Alright, so let's take out this first eye. We're going to attack it. I'm going to inflict +1. And we're going to roll 2 teal dice. It has, according to the book, it has 5 health, 10 defense. Okay, so I got a 13 on its 10. That's 3 plus 2, 4, 5. That's enough. +1, 6. So killed it. That one's gone. He's okay. Alright. Oh boy. I don't want to risk. Nightingale's got no shot to it. No. Nope. Would have to move here if she wants to get a shot. Even then, nope, she doesn't have a shot to it. Done. Safe from line of sight, except for this one. Nightingale's turn. Would have to move here. One. You have to go here. Goes here. Nope, that's a wall. She'd have to go here, which this thing can see her. Unless she moves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So she is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's going to shoot that eye. Rook, if you miss, I'm going to kill you. So she's going to shoot that eye. Do these two. This is the lowest number, so she's going to do kill the messenger to flip this. Wait, is this the lowest number? No, 2 is the lowest number. Dang it. She's got a reroll. Got a reroll. Here we go. And it says when you make an attack, reroll any single die. Reroll this one. There we go. There it is. All right, so that is 11. It had 10, which is 1. Oh no, to use this. That would have been 2. That's 2. That's all she's got. There's just 2 damage on that. That was unfortunate. Did not go according to plan. Can I do anything else? Can dodge and attack. Or she's not within sphere of influence, I can't drop something. Use one of your abilities that costs 3 SP or less. Reduce the SP cost to 0. I think I might attack again because I don't want to screw this up. I could use the hangover elixir that I picked up. It says use one of your abilities that costs 3 SP or less. Reduce the SP cost of this ability to 0. Oh. One of my abilities. I wonder if I can do an attack with this. I think I can. It's like a free attack. I'm going to do that. Use that to make a free attack. And I'm not moving, so I get a +1. That's 8. Now it's a 2. Now I do kill the messenger. Now I flip it to higher. So it's an 8. That's 16, which is 6 on 10, which is enough. Kill this. That's 2. Ooh, that was close. Alright. And her turn. Rook's turn. He's going to spend first. He is going to give courage. Remy. Then he's going to give barrier to Remy. Okay. Then he's going to spend 1, move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here in the corner. That's him in the corner. And then he's going to spend these 2. Roll What's he got? What's he got? What's he got? When making an attack, if you have two-handed weapon equipped, you may reroll any dice in your dice pool. And do that. Reason why I have it. That would have been a free gold too, but not about the free gold. I can keep the 6. And 1. What do we got? We've got 10, 11, 12. So just 2 going through. This. I don't want this thing. I don't want her to go and attack me. So I'm actually going to attack it again. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. More than enough. This is 12, which is over 10, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's enough to kill the third eye. Okay. We got 3 eyes out. 3 eyes out of 4. Okay, so gotta read this. It says, showing that's the ambush. At the start of Meldy's first turn, choose a random adventurer and read the following hidden text. So, gotta take this slow. A connection. At the start of Melody's first turn, choose a random adventurer and read the following hidden text. I need a D8. I need a D8. I'm so nervous. I don't want to lose this. I'm really enjoying it. D10. Do I not use D8 that off? Yes, this is my thing of dice. Don't judge me. And yes, that's my boulder. This is D8. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like the initiative. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nightingale. Alright, Nightingale. You feel a strange sinking feeling in your gut as ethereal strings tug at your very soul and stitch it to someone else's. I mean, she can't see me. Can she just do that? Okay. Gain the tether token. Tentacle. Like 7. 8, 7. Not one of these things. Bow, heal, summon, tentacle, prevention, dodge, and all the crazy bulbs. Let's look in the rulebook. See what the tether token looks like. She's dead weight. Nightingale is my killer. She is not dead weight. So tether token. That's this one. Special effect tokens. Some abilities in so special effect tokens 67. So square. 7. Some special ability tokens, special tokens, these tokens count as effects and follow all rules of normal effects, except they cannot be gained in any way other than the special ability that gives them. Okay. Wait, no, that's special effect. Oh, so it looks like a little square. Tip. I'm gonna find it. I don't know where the terrain. One being here. said that they're square. Energy tokens. Pop it. No, not these. These back. Where are they? Where are you, my friend? These are characters. All characters. But, dead branches. Big bug bomb, which I missed because I didn't read. A gun. Flowers. So not there. Have y'all seen the tether tokens at all, or no? It's a priority token. And exit. Puppet, puppet. Puppet, puppet, puppet. Time, priority tokens. Purple string. Yeah, I saw a picture of it in the book, in the rule book, but it's square. Look like. So when to me, that means it would be here, because these are all my square tokens. Okay. Paralyzed. Under poison, maybe. Nope, these are all poison tokens. Courage. Nope. Barrier. Nope. I'll put them all back later. Condemn. Haste. Darkness, everybody. Darkness. Wilt. These are all wilt tokens. These are all disease tokens. I don't have them. I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any. No, this is just health stuff. Here it is. Tether. Found it. This is it. This tether on it. So she gains the tether token. Okay. The token cannot be normally be removed. Typo. The token cannot normally be removed. At the end of this encounter, or when the adventurer with the token is defeated, remove the tether token. Anytime Melody is dealt damage, you are dealt that much irreducible damage. Anytime Melody heals, you heal the same amount. That just takes a large poop on my plan. So she tethered herself to Nightingale, and anytime she takes damage, Nightingale takes that much damage. The onslaught that I want to pull on Zeke could kill Nightingale. Awesome. Well, okay, so it's her turn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put Nightingale down, which is sad because she's my heavy hitter too. Okay, so are there no opponents adjacent? Nope. Cast a spell 6 at all opponents within line of sight. Well, you can't see Nightingale. You can't see him. You definitely can't see Remy. She's on this square here. And to move in that square, yeah, you hit this this barrel. No dice. And you definitely can't see. So, nope. Is there an opponent adjacent? Nope. Continue down. Is there an opponent within line of sight, and this ability has not been used this encounter? No. Is there an opponent within line of sight? No. Because if you try to get within line of sight of her, you hit this statue. If you try to get in line of sight, you hit this barrel. So, nope. This is going to be a long battle. This is probably going to be a short battle because So I just have to kill this eye, crowd her, and beat her to a pulp with Z. Okay, so that's the plan. It's got to be a quick takedown. Also, it said something at the start of her turn, right? When do I spring an eye? If Melody ever okay, so the tokens represent anytime I tokens represent the magical presence of the otherworldly being Melody has brought to the realm. These tokens may be targeted. You may move in their space and then attack them. All good. Eyes of Magdalene do not make break attacks. Do not drop combat loot. If Melody ever places an eye token, so when does she place? Melody draws line of sight as though they were the eye token. In addition, reduce damage to all eyes instead. Something says when she puts one down. I think it's at the start of her turn or when she takes damage. Sorry, my big old biscuit head in front of the board. I just read it too. When setting up the counter, move Melody forward one spot in the initial track, which I did. These attacks represent the magical presence. These tokens may be targeted. Do not break attacks, do not drop. If Melody ever places an eye, roll. If Melody ever places an eye, players roll 2 purple and consult the table. Anytime eye tokens are placed, players always place the first token away. But it doesn't say when she places them. Okay, so in this, I've read this. The first time Melody has damage oh, here it is. The first time Melody has damage tokens placed on her card after placing an eye token, read the following. So she hasn't placed any yet. Can't really use Onslaught on her to fullest. After first attack, she will summon eyes. So follow-up will go on to eyes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The same space, all eyes of Magdalene in addition to the space she. When Melody would be dealt damage and there are still eyes of Magdalene on board, reduce the damage to 0. If damage was reduced to 0 this way, deal 1 irreducible damage to all eyes instead. After Melody is dealt damage, place an eye on the board. Boom. There it is. Okay. Alright. So she couldn't do anything this round because we took care of the eyes. Now it's our turn. Dang it. What can you really do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which would put you in range. Bad. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Keep you behind the barrel. And you're done. The creature did not do anything this round. So I get a token, a furry token. And that will end her turn. Well, we gotta go through these. Since we're fighting, I put the adventurer's turn stop. So start a turn phase, resolve any ability. So we gotta take this one at a time. I usually put stuff back because I'm like, it's gonna happen that way anyway, but this time things could be different. Oh boy. I don't know what to do. I am not built to fight this girl. Well, this will help me determine what's wrong with my build. Nightingale was the perfect person to fight her, but now not so much. Remy, Rook, Zeke, Nightingale, Melody. When setting up the encounter after dealing the initial cards. Okay, so that's only a one time. Alright, Remy. Alright. Resolve any abilities and effects that occur at the start of the turn. Status. Any ability effects that happen. Refresh. Recover stamina. 3. Unflip any cards. You would need to. And then take her turn. Well, she has to hit. So she'll spend 1. Move here. She's still protected. And then she's going to spend 2. Their masterwork to attack. Will attack D. So it's +1 already. +1 damage as well on Hammerhelm. That's 11. That's enough. That's enough because it's 12 +1 to the roll. That's 12 on 10 is 2. Plus the 2, 1, 2. Plus this is +1. So that's 5. She did her job. They're gone. Okay. And at any time, re-roll any dice except the black dice that you rolled or that were rolled against you. That'll end her turn. Rook's turn. 1, 2, 4. You would get the abilities. Flip, 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 flip. 3. Sphere of Influence. This, at least we can try to get a really good shot on her. So he is going to give Courage to Nightingale. He's about to take this exact same damage, and he's going to give Barrier. So hit her hard, Nightingale. Hit her as hard as you can. Then, which will do these 2. Where can he go to stay out of her line of sight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go here. And kind of end. Get a prep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll stand right there. So my plan is to leave Zeke in the back. What about one character unleashing each round and other characters attack eyes as they pop up? That was my plan. That was my plan, Brian. I'm keeping Zeke in the back because if I roll high, something's going to appear over here and I don't want them to deal. So he's going to be ready to. She's going to be ready to pop in, kill this. He's going to deal with these in the back. He's going to be the alternate to run up and punch her after she falls. So that's the plan. That's why I'm kind of conserving a little bit. So that'll be the end of his. We'll deal with this next. Nightingale. Up Zeke's turn. Zeke will get back. 3. I think Nightingale might. So I get another haste token. Might equip the wand of the depths, move in, and cast poison. Because at least after Nightingale's dead, she's still gonna keep getting poison. Always. So as long as we knock eyes out. Okay. So Zeke. Zeke, as long as you don't, as long as you stay out of this lane, you're good. As long as you stay out of that. So I'm gonna bring him back on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll chill here. No, you won't. No, you won't. He's gonna stay right where he is. Not moving him. Okay. This back. That back. What's her conviction dice? Ooh. Her conviction dice is a green and a teal. Poison would be really great to cast on her. Because no matter what, she's going to be taking hits each round. All I have to do is pop eyes and then burn her down. So let me instead of, because we're not getting gold this round, there's no loot from the eyes. So I'll do, she has 30 health. Let me give her 30 health on this. I think that's the way to go, honestly. Let's set up for the next round. But I gotta get into SOI with her, which would let her attack me. This is if all else fails, that doesn't continue down. This does, though, and condemn would get put on me. Hey. Kind of freaks me out. Alright, I gotta do it. So I'm gonna use 1 to do an equip. My casting die upgrades to an orange. I'm gonna do 1 to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1. She's in my SOI. Then I'm gonna take an infection, going down by 1 to make this cast for free, and I'm casting Corrosive Ideal on her. She is not immune. Oh my gosh. Oh no! Why? 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 That's an 8. She's going to do conviction to try to beat an 8 with dice that roll way over an 8. Yeah, that's a 9 and a 6. That's a 15. It was worth a shot. It was worth it. Oh. Well. Oh. She doesn't have a beat on Nightingale. But she doesn't have a beat on Nightingale. It goes through this red piece. That's why the corner is good. You can't hit nobody, dude. Don't have a beat? Well, hold on. Yeah, because you would have a beat on her if you were in the green space, you'd have her dead to right. But nope, you don't. You hit that red piece. They hit this red piece right here. I get one more round. Alright, so are there no opponents adjacent? Nope. Spell against all opponents within line of sight, not SOI. So nobody's in her line of sight. You've hit him again. It'll all pop off next round. Is there an opponent adjacent? No. Are there opponents within line of sight and this ability has not been used this encounter? Nope. There's an opponent within line of sight. So it's all about line of sight, not SOI. And please, if I'm doing this wrong, please let me know. But that corner goes through where she's standing. So I'm gonna look up line of sight over S because it's other cards specifically say SOI, and there is no SOI. There is line of sight. 45. 45. I don't want to cheat. Win this right. Line of sight is determined by drawing an imaginary line from the center of the space the to acting figure occupies to the center of space the target figure occupies. If the line moves through anything that blocks line of sight, then the action or ability cannot be performed. Obstructing terrain, edges of a tile where the tile doesn't connect to another tile, elevation differences, and spaces occupied by opponents block line of sight. Allies do not, and there is a penalty for it. So, okay. So she can't do anything again this round. I'll get my second one. Alright, we're all set up for whatever's going to happen. Whatever's happening is happening next. I want to put poison on her so bad. Alright. Open up. Right. Melody. Brooke. Red. Okay, so if she can't do it this round, we're gonna deal with this. Alright, so she's gonna get her 3. Then she's gonna use her ability. Like this. Then she's gonna use her ability to gain 2 more. Giving everybody 1, because this is the only time, because she's about to die at some point. Then she is going to spend 2. Let's try this one more again. Come on, more than a 2. It's more than a 2. Frick. It was 9, so no good. Okay. She's going to spend 1 to. Let's get this party started. We're wasting enough time. And then she's gonna spend her final 2 to hit this lady with everything she's got. She's throwing out everything she's got. First, before she does that, she's gonna per encounter. If she moves, I'm gonna get you. She's gonna use this to throw a bulb. Because I picked that up from this stupid burger thing. I'm gonna throw a bulb. Move your mine. Does Melody move using the initiative? No, only once. No, only on the first turn. Only on the first turn. Only on the first turn. It says when setting up. Because she got the ambush thing that happened. Alright. We got this. And I want to say I played this wrong. Howdy y'all, I missed the intro, replay it. I got this wrong last time, so I'm doing it right now. I'm going to place this here on her. You don't get to see what the bulb is until you move. The bulb doesn't pop until break attacks. I put this on the thing before where I got it wrong, where the bulb flew and then I just let the thing happen. What happens is you place the bulb. When someone gets into range, when they move out of it, it performs a break attack, which flips the bulb and it explodes. Okay, now she's going to use the 2 she has to do massive amounts of damage because I can't roll a hit to save my life. I tried poison, didn't work. Here we go. Well, one of these is low. It's you. So I'm going to do kill the messenger. Put you here. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. You're at 12, so 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 2, because I was reading how to do damage. You're supposed to add up everything. So that's 11 plus 2 12, 13. So that's 1 getting through, plus a star, 1, 2, plus another star, 1, 2, plus 2 books that will let me move. One, because I don't want another haste token. Make it work. Take another one. But 5 damage is coming through. I get hit for 5. She gets hit for 5. I could have done a lot better than that, I'll tell you that. Oh, wait. I'm not done. I forgot. I had my quiver. To reroll is 3. 4. Sure. So 1 more damage. Let me see. Let me make sure I got it right. So it's 12. So it's 12. Then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus the 1, plus the 1, 8. So then 8 damage. So I did 5. So I'm down to 6 health. That's 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm down to 6 health, and I hit her for 8. Hit her for 8. 22. She'd be down to 22 health. I'd have done the move. And we read when she gets hit. So the first time Melody has damage tokens placed on her card after placing an I token, read the following hidden text. So I need to roll the 2 purple dice. 7, 8, 9. On a 9, I place 1 I. It says the furthest away from the adventurers, which would be here in this corner behind the box. Okay, here we go. Melody screeches at her first. Melody screeches at her fresh wound. In a high-pitched voice, she screams, "I'll kill you!" over and over as she waves her hands through the air. With a loud crack, the floorboards explode all around you, and two women claw out from beneath the dirt. With large weapons, you realize in horror that this crazy girl is a summoner of some sort, and she's brought some friends to aid her in in the fight. Spawn twin Savani adjacent to the adventurer who dealt damage. What the heck is that? I don't know what to do. Let it out. Spawn twin Savani. Maybe it's out of monster. Twin. I'm going to lose this fight. I'm not going to win. Twin Savani. Okay, so it's the Spawn Twin Savani adjacent to the adventurer who dealt damage to Melody. When placing these 2 figures, if possible, place them in a flanking position. Then continue your turn as normal. Is there another? Yes. Why, yes, there is. There's 2 of them. Yay! Hope and Ava. Oh, then continue your turn as usual, and they go in flanking position. Splendid. Okay. Oh, they're gonna kill me. Okay, so they pop up on the porch, summons them both. Do they have any? Yeah. So they have little tokens. Yep, I'm in there. Twin Savani 1, Twin Savani 2. This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. I am not okay. This is them here. And they spawn in flanking position here and here. Here and here. Oh no. That's here. That's okay. Who dealt the damage to Melody? When placing these figures, if possible, place them in a flanking position. Then continue your turn as normal. Okay. Um. Both of them say the same thing, so I'll read what it says. Everything you want. When the twin Savani are summoned for any reason, spawn both the Ava and Hope figures if possible. The first time each turn, Ava would miss an attack, reroll the attack. When attacking Ava, will always prioritize a flanked opponent. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna chafe. DM MP Twin Savani Hope. Savani 8. Yeah, whoever won this, whatever. Whoever won this fight. I tried the poisoner. Did not. Okay, their cards go in. And someone somewhere will be like, oh, this is easy. I beat it in like 2 seconds. Any damage done to Nightingale goes to Melody. Any. I'll have to read the tether. That would be great if that's true, but there's an I there. So it would be great if that was true. Dang it, I should have held on to one more so I can make an attack again. Oh no, I'm not in range to hit that. Okay, so best friends. Ava has Nimble. This is the same thing on both their cards. Ava has Nimble and Provoke too. While both Ava and Hope are on the board, they both gain Backstab and Resistance to magic damage. I want to cry. Okay, so is Ava flanking an opponent? Make an attack within reach 2. This attack gains follow-up, make another attack. Then move to be 2 spaces away from the opponent. She is flanking if she can still flank them after moving. Ooh, Resonance. This is a passive ability of Hope. This one. The first time each turn Hope rolls a star during an attack, cast a spell against up to 2 different opponents within Hope's sphere of influence. Roll Hope's casting die, deal magic damage equal to the result. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt. Alright, bye Nightingale. It was fun. It was fun. I wonder if I could trigger right, the eye is yep. I wonder if I can trigger Overwatch because they appeared. Anytime gain provoke until the end of the turn, where X equals 1 of your equipped weapons range if you have a so I gotta read provoke because if provoke means that they just come into my SOI. Any figure that leaves a space. Bah! Dang it! I'd have loved to shot one of them. Their health is star. Their health is star. Let's see what that means. Oh my word. Called Exalt. Exalt. Talk about their health for a second. Alright. Command cards, which is probably what they are, that come into play via disciplines learned by adventurers for assemblage contain the star image where a number, icon, or combat die might go. This means that the command card will use special rules to determine its value, depending on the star or value in question. So in terms of health, if the stat, yeah, they got a star in health. If the stat in question is health, the value is determined directly depending on if it's a loyal expert or conduit command. Conduit command cards use the adventurer's normal maximum HP. This would be their base HP, usually 12, plus the hearts, blah, blah, blah. Even, so they are, if she's a summoner, if they are espers that she summons, and I love that they call them espers, then are they getting 30 health each? Intelligent combatants might summon an opposing esper or start the encounter with an opposing esper on the board. In this case, the opposing esper will use the values and dice located on their corresponding summoner's intelligence combat card when determining their combat dice, conviction dice, casting dice, defense value, and health value. She is going to kill me. So they both have 30 health? Jeez. Okay. They both have 30 health. Awesome. Cool. Good. Big fun. Big fun. Well, I put the bulb next to her. I thought she would move. Should have put it next to myself. I knew I was gonna die. I could deal myself 1 damage, inflict 1 damage on this thing so that I can have a dodge ready. I just asked my almost 3-year-old daughter what she wants, and she said axe. Should I be worried? No. Fire an axe, man. Be a good dad. Alright. Oh, I completely forgot too. She's nimble. She would have tried to dodge my attack. So she rolled that. She would have tried to dodge my attack, so she would have taken 1 less damage. She's at 20. And I would have had 1 more health on me. Good to know. Forgot she's nimble. Okay, so I think I got everything. Twin Savani Ava, which is red. Okay, Ava's nimble, she's elusive, and she provokes break attack. Range 2. While both Ava, which means she can punch Rook. Dang it. Okay, while both Ava and Hope are on the board, they both gain backstab and resistance to magic damage. Backstab deals a +3 damage. Is Ava flanking an opponent? Yes. Make an attack where she's going to roll the black die plus 2 red dice. I don't think I was supposed to win the fight. Okay. Has anyone beat this? So black die plus 2 red dice because according to the rules it says that they share what's on their master's card. So she's rolling 2 red dice plus a black die. Gulp. Bye, Nightingale. She can do an infection to dodge, but I don't think it'll matter. She's gonna use her occult shirt to dodge. And she'll get the counter if it happens. She's gonna dodge. Nope. Oh, God. Okay, let's see what happens. So what do you do? +1 on shields, +2 on stars. So 8 9, 10, 11. I have 10, so that's 1 getting through. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 damage. So I go down to 2 health. This attack gains follow-up. Make another attack, then move. There's nothing she can do. That's a 9, not a 6. That's a 9. And a 4. That's 13. On 10 is 3. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. 8 damage. She's out. Tether comes off. Nightingale's gone. It says then move to be 2 spaces away from the opponent she is flanking if she can still flank them after moving. They're dead. Where would she move? Can't move anywhere. I feel like I've missed too many live streams and no, I have not beat it. Oh my god. I think this is not going to be a long fight whatsoever. It's going to be a very quick fight. Hope. Hope is nimble, she's elusive, and she provokes. While both Ava and Hope are on the board, they both gain backstab because she would have gotten +3. Actually, she would have killed her from the first strike. Because that was +3 for the backstab. So Nightingale would have been dead anyway. Okay, Nightingale goes down. The first time each turn Hope rolls a star during an attack, follow up cast a spell. Okay, is there an opponent within reach 2? Yes, there is. Attack! Alright, I'm gonna kill that. I'm gonna block. I'm not gonna dodge because I want to be able to punch you as hard as I can. Oh, and because Nightingale took. Let me see if the tether cannot be normally at the end of the encounter or when the adventure with the tokens defeated. Remove the tether. Anytime Melody is dealt damage, you are dealt that amount of your reducible damage. Every time she heals, you heal. So damage isn't dealt back to Melody. Melody. So, okay, she gets the attack range too. Sure. Why the hell? Why the hell not? That's a 9. So that's 9 plus 5, which is 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21. I am going to use my cuirass to say no. I don't accept your damage. Okay. And she did roll a star. It says the first time each turn Hope rolls a star during an attack. Follow up. Cast a spell 6 against up to 2 different opponents within her range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's Remy. So that's 6 plus the casting die, which is a teal. 12. Why not? Why not a 12? Why not a stinking 12? So that's 12. So that means, and it says that they will Hope rolls casting die, deals magic damage equal to the result. That's 12. I get to do conviction. So Remy will go first. Her conviction is upgraded to white. Like it will matter. But I got forebode just in case. This is magic damage. 11. Do I take 1 damage? I gotta see the spell rules. Hold on. Because I can't take 12 damage. Okay, so spells. Target SOI base range 4. Casting die plus X. Against conviction. But how do I check? Okay. Skill plus 2 purple. No. That's a skill check. Difference in hit plus X is force. Hit, conviction, non-permanent target. Let's hit same target as attack. Do I take 1 damage? I don't do spells, so I don't know what it means. Make a spell attack action with the force value of the spell equaling X plus the result of a roll made. Spell action, 51. 51. This is going to be short. Many abilities allow an adventurer to cast spells. Okay. Choose a target, she did. Determine the force spell pool, she did. Each target makes a conviction check. Each adventurer combatant card has conviction dice printed on it. These 2 dice determine how resistant a figure is to spells during this step. Each target makes a separate conviction check to resist the spell's effect. Make a conviction check. Each figure targeted by a spell rolls a conviction dice printed on their card. If the total number rolled is equal to or greater than the spell's force value, the spell is resisted by the figure. However, if the roll is less than the force value of the spell's printed effect occurs. Once every target has rolled a conviction check, the spell action ends. So I take 12 damage, basically? Is that what that's saying to me? Anyone? If you know, let me know. Because it's either resisted or it's hit. There's no difference, right? Each target that failed their conviction check resolves the spell effects separately and in order they made the conviction check. This could be magic damage determined by a roll, negative effects such as poison, or manipulating their position on the tile. Spell's effects are described on the ability that started the spell action, cast spell, something. I think I take 12 damage. I could re-roll that 5 and pray for a 6, but that's pretty much what's happening. Wait, did I roll for that? It was you were well, I rolled a 6. That's that was 12. Yeah, it sounds like I take 12. Each target makes a conviction check. Resolve the ability. So it's either with spells, it's either it's hit or no hit, basically. There's no in between. There's no difference set. Okay. I want to make sure I'm doing that right, because that's a lot of damage to take from one spell. Items and abilities can upgrade an adventurer's cast and conviction die. The spell action is not a standard action and can only be made when the ability specifies calling for a spell attack. Abilities that use spell actions do not require a specific weapon icon to be used. Spells share a special type of range and line of sight called Sphere of Influence. Spells have their own steps that a figure must go through when instructed. Spells have a force value that must be overcome by the target via conviction check to resist the effects of the spell. Allies may purposefully fail conviction checks when being targeted. I'm going to do forebode. I'm going to make her re-roll this die. I resisted it. Nope, I use forebode, and it says anytime, at any time, this is why I used it just now. Reroll any dice except the black that you rolled or that were rolled against you, which was the spell. And I made her reroll it to a 5, which is an 11, and I did not take that. Cool. And I need to resist an 11 as well for Rook. And Rook upgrades to white also. 6, 7, 8. Ugh, Rook. Ugh. Yeah, you got nothing. So Rook's gonna take the full brunt of that. 12. 11, actually. 11 damage. Okay. Probably not gonna live for this. Okay, so this thing says make an attack within reach. This attack gains a star, so she used her star to cast the spell. Then, if Hope is not already flanking a target, she will move to be within reach of the farthest opponent possible. Really? Okay. If Hope can flank a target, she will attempt to flank the furthest opponent possible. So, if Hope is not already flanking a target, she will move to be within reach 2 of the furthest opponent possible. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Break attack. She moves 6, 4, 5, 6. But she gets a break attack on her face from main man, which will be these two and a black. 8, 4, and good thing. Okay, so 12 on 12. So that's 12 plus 13. So I'm at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, 2, 6, 7. That's 7 damage on you. Okay. There's no way to win this. Okay. You have 30 health. Alright, so that ends your turn. It's Zeke's turn. Zeke will gain this. Grab my diagonal move. I wouldn't be able to re-roll. Wouldn't be able to re-roll. I'm gonna Blade Works at you. So I'm going to need to be able to re-roll. I'm gonna do this. Move. Has a reach of 2. Does she? Does she now? No, she doesn't. Because it doesn't say. This one does. Oh, yes, she does, right here. Hope has Nimble, Elusive, and Provoke too. So he's going to step here, which will provoke her attack, which he will happily dodge his ability if he needs to. That's a 3 for on there. So he's at 9, 10, 13. Ooh. Okay, see if she kills him. 13 on 15, 2. Plus 1 for each shield. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 7. Good hit. Good hit. My turn. I'm going to spend these 3 to Onslaught. I was going to use this. And I rolled a 5 and a 3, which is crap, so I'm going to re-roll. Re-roll one of my dice. I'm going to re-roll the 3. That's enough to get through. That's enough. 11 plus 1, 12, which is enough, plus 2, so that's 2 more damage to you. You need a 3. Follow up. And do it again. Oh, I'm gonna Imbue Fear this one to give it +2 damage. 10 plus 2 is 12, which does hit, but it does no damage. Oh, plus the 2. So you get 2 more damage. 1, taking 5. I am rolling like garbage. Come on. Follow up again. 9. Oh. Well, she had no shields. It didn't matter. 9. What do I need to hit with? 12. I don't have a reroll, so that didn't do any good. Rolling like crap. Attack again. 12. That'll work. That's 12, which hits. 2 plus the star, 2, that's 4. 4 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to, because I'm not going to live through this. I mean, the easier thing is to just bum rush this girl and try to break her down, but that's Remy's problem. So I'm going to use this to attack again. Well, what the heck else is he going to do? 11 plus 2. 12, 13, so that's just 1. And that's all I got. That was a trash roll. Melody's turn. Melody. Are there no opponents adjacent? Nope. Cast a spell against all opponents within the line of sight. You would say this, but there's a box there. So, nope. Not line of sight. Nope. 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 So, no one's in line of sight. Is there an opponent adjacent? Nope. Is there an opponent within line of sight where this ability has not been used? Nope. Is there an opponent within line of sight? Nope. Okay. Rook's turn. He's gonna break attack me and kill me if I go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. You do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And bust that eye to give Remy a chance. Which would not give me a chance to hit anybody. She's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do about this. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, let's do this. Alright, so what are you gonna do? You can dodge, but red dice. And she's gonna break attack me no matter where I move, because I'm in range 2. So as soon as I move, she's gonna hit. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. As soon as I move, she's gonna hit me because I'm within range 2. If I move toward, so break attack's coming no matter what I do. I have 5 health left. It doesn't make sense to heal right now. Let's take this medicine, man. Take this medicine. I'll move. Try to dodge. Nope. 9 plus 4. And I drew just 1. So I'm 9, 10, 11 plus 4 is 3. But my 2 shielding take 1 damage. I know I'm trying to get to her. Trying to get to her. So do break attacks, do they just happen once or do they happen every single time I move? Break attack. 44. A game where you must consult the book constantly. 44. Boy. 44. Break attack. When moving or drawing line of sight through a diagonal, players choose which of the 2 spaces affect the line of sight or movement. The space chosen by the players then applies all of its possible bonuses, negatives, blah, blah, blah. If at any point during a turn a figure would leave a space that is adjacent to an opponent, they provoke a break attack. This means that the opponent may immediately make an attack action that costs no SP against the figure intending to leave the adjacent space. The break attack takes place in the space the target is attempting to leave. A figure may never make more than 1 break attack per turn. In bold on page 44. So that was yours. Boom. Boom. Right? I was here. Well, I could move 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would get me here. So that would be this getting me here, which is where I wanted to get. Okay. Whew. Then I will attack the eye. And it has a 10, 5 health, and a 10 to beat. I'm going to re-roll 3. 7 plus 1. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That ends his turn. Remy's turn. Okay, Remy. You can fly over there without provoking a break attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Landing right in front of Melody. Yeah. You're going to fly. Land here. Doesn't matter. There is no tomorrow. And then I'm going to actually whirlwind both of you. Why the hell not? I'm going to whirlwind. All I have to do is hit the heal. Okay, so I'm rolling. First one's going to Melody. And I'm going to do this +1 on it. And I'm going to re-roll that 4. Oh, not whirlwinds. There we go. Okay, and I got courage on, so I didn't miss. Alright, so let's deal with damage. And I'm going to do some more things. Because I'm going to swap places with you and deal damage more. So I have to beat a 12. I got 13, so that's 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Star, 1, 2. That's 7 damage I'm hitting you for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I knocked you down 16 health. You will spawn 7, 1 token furthest from says in this room furthest from, right? So chart. Anytime eye tokens are placed, players always place the eye token on tile 69 on the furthest space possible from the adventurers. Which would okay. So hit, hit, decent. Oh, she's nimble. Sorry, I'm forgetting. She's nimble. So it would be one less. Keep forgetting she's nimble. I'm going to. Oh, I'm still whirlwinding. Still whirlwinding. Whirlwinding. So this is on the other Miss Lady. Ooh, that is hot garbage. Means I lose my courage token. Okay. That's all I got. That's all I got. Oh, and I did hit, which means I would heal for 2 if I wanted to exhaust, but nope. Well, that's not true, Brian. She can inflict condemn, but her exalted Esper has no problem in inflicting condemn on me. So she can do it. She can still do it. Okay. 17 health. Who's gonna die first? Me, then Remy, and Z, Melody, and more me death, and Rook. Okay, Ava goes first. Ava is red. When you're not back. Oh, well, you're not flanking. Is Ava flanking an opponent? No, you're not flanking. Can Ava move to an opponent within reach 2? Yes. Move to be within reach 2 of the furthest opponent possible. Be him again. If Ava can flank a target, she will attempt to flank. Move 6. Then make an attack within range 2. Can't. Attack gains follow-up attack. Then if Ava has made at least 2 attacks this turn, make an attack. Attack gains plus 6 damage. Oh no. Farthest opponent possible. Alright, Brian. Otherwise, move towards the nearest opponent. Can Ava move to attack an opponent within reach 2? Move to be within reach 2 of the farthest opponent possible. To be fair, which gets her where she wants. But to also be fair, you're getting a break attack from Remy. That is 12. That works. That's 2, 4. So 4 more damage. 4 damage is going on 8. And then she keeps on trucking. Okay. And she's going to make an attack within reach 2. This attack gains a follow. Then you can do about 10 plus 4 damage. This attack gains a follow-up of attacking again. Miss, a skull, thank you. Then, if Ava has made at least 2 attacks this turn, make an attack within reach 2, this gets plus 6. She did make 2 attacks. It didn't say dealt damage, it said make an attack. If she's made at least 2 attacks this turn, she attacks again, and Zeke dies. Oh, God. Zeke's. Jeez. That is 16. Plus 1 for shields. 17, 18, 19, 20. He has 10. Minus 2 would be 8. He has 5 health left. He's gone. Zeke's out. Okay. Oh, that ends her turn. Remy's turn. Oh, Remy, you get 3. You gotta hit that eye, lady. You gotta hit that eye. She's gonna move, which will do a break attack and provoke that. Well, no, that's mine. 1, 2, right here. And I'll provoke a break attack from this lady who rolls 2 red. Not a black, just 2 red. Straight up. She is going to not do anything about that. 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 1, 12. She has 9, 10, 2, but she has 2 shields, so no damage. Then she's going to make an attack. If it was too close. She's going to make an attack. She's going to sacrifice herself for whatever's about to happen. She's going to make an attack on the eye. Six and 3. I'm going to re-roll that 3. So that's 1. And I'll use, sorry. 2, 3, 4, plus 1 of that, 5. She did her job. Did her job. Did what she was supposed to do. Alright. So, yeah, she's got whatever may happen. Melody's turn. Melody gets to attack this round. Are there no opponents adjacent? Correct. Cast the spell against all opponents within line of sight. So that's Rook and Remy. And her casting die is heal of it being a 6. Magic damage. I rolled an 8. Why not? Rolled an 8. I'm going to make you re-roll that die. Another 8. This game wants me to lose. That's 14. Sure, I can make that work. Nope for Rook. Nope for Remy. So you're going to take... Condemn. You get inflicted with Condemn. Okay. Continue down. Is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within line of sight and this ability has not been used? Yes, there is. She summons her Exalted Esper. Come on, focus. Minnows the Contractor. An opponent within SOI is dealt magic damage equal to the number rolled based on... An opponent within SOI is dealt magic damage equal to the number rolled using both of their conviction die. Then inflict condemn. Wait, this might be over. So on an opponent within SOI, this will be Remy. So it's going against Remy. 6. She could try to resist it. So she has to beat an opponent within SOI is dealt magic damage equal to the number rolled using both of their conviction die. Yeah, this isn't a cast. This just happened. Okay. Cool, and then it pops out. Gone. That's it. That was enough of that pain. But Hope's not done. Oh, no. Is there an opponent within reach 2? No. Otherwise, move towards the nearest opponent. If Hope can flank a target, she will attempt to flank. Attack a target within reach 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. She is going to attack Remy, who is going to try to dodge. Actually, no, she's not. She's going to block all this crap. Woo! That would be nasty. It would be, except for she's going to use her ability to stop all physical damage coming in, blocking all of that. And that's it. That's the end of Hope. Rook's turn. 3. He needs to roll to see if he rolls a skull. He doesn't. He's okay. Rook is going to use one move here. Then he's going to swing away. Rook is actually going to give himself courage before he swings away. He's going to give himself courage. Ooh, doesn't have bad. Doesn't have bad. So that's 13. Well, 12, so that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that's 5, right? So that's 1, 5, 6. Plus 1, 7. Plus star, 1, 2, 9. 9 damage going through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have her down to 8 health. I have her down to 8 health. And she is going to spawn another eye. 6, 7, 8, which is 1 eye furthest from us. Okay. Okay. One to move, 2 to attack. I'm gonna punch her in the face with a board. Pow! That's it. Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. I don't know how. There's no way. No way. That means that Remy would have to kill that eye, and Rook would have to roll like a freaking champ, and they have to go first. No way. There is no freaking way. Nope. I'm dead. I am dead. They would have to go first for that even to remotely be possible. Okay, Ava goes first, which is her. Is Ava flanking opponent? Nope. Can Ava move to an opponent within reach 2? Move to an opponent within reach 2 or the furthest opponent of the furthest. Ugh. Move to be within reach 2 of the furthest opponent possible. If Ava can flank, she will. Furthest opponent possible is him. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would get you 2, 1, 2 for sure. You get a break attack from me. Can't flank. So I'm going to give you a break attack to the face. 12 is what I have to hit, so it's 4 damage is going to. Okay. Then she's going to make an attack, follow it with an attack, and then attack again for the on Rook. Miss. So you miss that. You don't get the follow-up, and you didn't attack, so that ends your turn. Oh. Hope. Is there an opponent within reach 2? Yes. Make an attack within reach 2. This gains a star, which she's going to cast a spell. She can't hit Rook, but she damn sure could hit Remy. And then she's not flanking. So here we go. 7, 8, 9. That's a miss. But it gains a star. The first time each turn, Hope rolls a star. She rolls a star during an attack, casts a spell. So she didn't. This would have been 7, 8, 9, plus a star, which is 2, 10, 11, which would fully block the damage. Then, if Hope is not already flanking a target, she will move to be within range 2 of the furthest opponent possible. If Hope can flank a target, she will attempt to flank the furthest target, and that's it. You can't flank. You just will be 2 away. 1, 2, 3. Put her here. Which you would get a break. It says I can only perform 1 break attack against an opponent, but that's a different opponent because you moved out of my range. That's a 13. On 12. 1, 2, 3. 3 damage going. Okay, that ends their turn. Remy's turn. Remy is going to use the smoke bomb to not provoke an attack. Comes down to this. Oh, I gotta roll condemn first. Alright, she's okay. Gets all this stuff back. She will use smoke bomb and move here. And then she's going to move, then attack with this, so I don't miss it this time. It's 12. On a 10 is 2. 2. It's enough to kill it. Perfect. That ends her turn. Rook. 3. Gonna attack. Oh, and she did attack, so she heals 2. Rook is gonna attack. Rook is going to re-roll. Oh! Nope. We lost just like that. Just like that. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 1. I would only hit her for 1 damage. 2 damage. I would only hit her for 2. Oh, wait. I get stars. I need to reroll anything. And 1 SP to push against an adjacent opponent and inflict paralyze. Force 8 plus difference roll. Passive follow-up. Spend 1 SP to roll the black die against figure adjacent to the target of the attack. Each field they take 1. I think I'm going to try to paralyze her. Try it one last time. I think I'm going to try to paralyze her. Okay, so I reroll anything. Anything, please. At any time, an ally within SOI, which he is, May do one of the following. Reroll any dice you rolled. Yes! Follow blessing. My heart, I can't take it. Alright, so he's gonna roll a 3. It wasn't in the cards for me to get. Okay, so re-roll a 3. Well, so it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 16 on 12, which is 4. Taking her down to 4 health. All I had to do was hit. Oh, and I forgot to roll the back die and condemn. It didn't matter. He died. He would be at 8. He died. It didn't matter. Condemn. I forgot to roll condemn for him. Or did I roll condemn already? No, I did roll condemn for him. 4. And he's gonna use 1 SP to push and paralyze her. So it'd be force is 8 plus the difference, which would have been 4, so that's 12. So you've got to beat a 12 with your conviction, lady. Shouldn't be too hard. You got to beat a 12. 13. Actually, no, more than 13. That's way more than 13. Woo! That is 16. You beat it. I didn't push her, I didn't paralyze her. Now it's her turn. Okay. It was worth a shot. I almost had it. It was worth a shot. Are there no opponents adjacent? That's not true. Is there an opponent adjacent? Yes. Make an attack against each opponent within reach 2, then swap places with them and continue down. So she's gonna roll this. She rolls a 17. 18, 19, 20, 21. She rolls a 21. Yeah, on my 9, 10, so that would be 11 minus 10, 9, so 9 damage. He's dead. I had one shot, it didn't work. Then, is there an opponent within line of sight? No, there isn't. Holy golly. Really is all that's left. Just 4 health! 4 health! I should have sent Zeke up there. If I had done this different, I would have sent Zeke up there. Okay. Oh, there's no way she's going first. There's no way in heaven she's going. There's no way. She went first. And then she's dead if she doesn't do anything. Okay. She gets 3. Gets this back. What do I do? What do I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be here, which is 2 away. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is 2 away with her halberd. She's gonna attack with everything she's got. She's got nothing else to lose. Oh, I gotta roll a black die. Okay, she's okay. All right. $14. Cat is nimble. So she has a 12, 15. 15 on 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh my god, I think I beat her. So she rolled this, because she's nimble. So it's 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15. She's got, yeah, I gotta do the math right because I think I beat her. That's 15. I rolled a 14, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I won! Oh my gosh! What? What? Is anybody watching this? Is anyone still here? I rolled her nimble. She had 12, 13, 14, 15. Remember, we're supposed to add everything I'm dealing with hits. 14, 15. 1, 2. So that's 2. That's 2 for 4. Plus 1, that's 5. I beat her. Oh, I beat her. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That was awful. Okay. I beat her. I won. It says Melody is defeated. We won. Wow. Wow. Okay. Each party member gains 1 XP and restores. What? Okay. Hey. So I need a minute. I need a minute. Heart's racing. Okay, so I beat her. Continue to set her free. 93. We're going back to Foreteller for this championship. Yes, 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 yes. I'm sure I messed something up, but I rolled. I did. It said go to set her free, which is 6 minutes.
Set her free. The woman had collapsed from the weight of her wounds, blood pooling out about her. Her summons were gone, and she stared down at her ruined body in shock. Despite the damage, her voice sounded only surprised. "Human flesh is so feeble," she muttered. The monster held out one arm in front of her. She was almost surgical in the way she inspected her many wounds. She shook as she pushed her scraps of clothing against a deep gash in her belly, but it did little to stop the bleeding. Rook wasn't fooled. He held out an arm, blocking Nightingale's path to help the fallen woman. "She isn't what she appears. That thing isn't human." Nightingale glared at him, though she didn't try to force her way past. "Rook, she's dying. We can't just let her bleed to death." Rook didn't budge. "Nightingale, do you know what this thing is?" She retreated a step, frowning. "No." Just past him, the imitation of a woman laughed and cackled. "Listen to the big one. He sounds like he knows. Listen while you can." She didn't even sound angry, only resigned. Rook ignored her. "I wasn't sure at first, but I'm quite certain now. They call monsters like this living oblations. You make one deal too many, and eventually the only thing you have left to bargain with is yourself. Something drags you out and takes your body for itself. Whoever this was, she may have been dead for years, decades even." "Is that true?" Remy asked from his other side. "Melody." The monster sounded afraid, suddenly gasping from the pain obvious in the damage to her body. "My name was Melody, before I sold myself." It was as if whatever controlled her momentarily let go, or perhaps they were always both there. "See?" Nightingale surged forward, moving to duck under Rook's arm. He stepped in front of her, blocking the way even more thoroughly than it had been before. She's not gone. You're still you, aren't you, Melody? The woman's head tilted violently to one side, swiveling to look up at Nightingale. Her mouth opened too wide, and she laughed. Of course I am. Who else would I be? We can't know. Rook lowered his arms, no longer blocking the way. The creature inside of her can make the body do whatever it wants. Even if this person was Melody, and we'd known them before, we couldn't be sure. He looked down at the creature. Why are you here? Did you cause what happened upstairs? No, she hissed. Malik ordered me to protect the basement. He doesn't like snoopers. Her tone changed, suddenly pained and desperate and human again. Well, a shocking imitation of human. Please leave me be. I'll heal. I know it looks bad, but I'll heal. If Malik doesn't learn I failed, I'll be safe. Just go. Rook felt the brief pressure on his soul, the faint magic Suri used to look through his eyes, then the momentary weakness as she borrowed some of his strength to manifest. She took shape far quicker than usual, taking an almost solid humanoid form in less than a second. Suri approached the fallen woman without fear, then turned her back on her to meet Rook's eyes. You must kill this creature. Quiet. This doesn't concern you, Melody hissed, suddenly angry again. She lurched towards Suri, but only made it a few inches before her horrific wounds forced her to stop. Suri pleaded to Rook. It has no business in this realm. It's just another intruder from Arkella leeching from your world. She looked from Rook to his friends. Only if you kill the host can the great bounty pass judgment on this criminal. Any other action will allow it to stay hidden from the great bounty. Nightingale looked confused. Suri, what exactly is the great bounty? Suri swished in the air in frustration. Stupid girl! Don't use my name in front of it! Suri's sudden outburst caused Nightingale to take a step back. They are the self-appointed interdimensional enforcers of reality, Suri said, still throwing Nightingale a dirty look. Beings of great power who don't like realms meddling with each other, especially not those from Arkella. Now kill her so that they can claim what they want. No, Zeke said. You're gonna have to explain more than that. Sounds like some real comic book shit. I've read about it, Rick explained. If any of you paid attention in assemblage, you would have too. They say that there is an open bounty put on any creatures found in violation of the rules established between dimensions. Espers hail from realms outside of Middara. However, many are allowed to be summoned, bound, or used in any way the contract with their summoner permits. Certain realms are considered off-limits, Arkella being one of them. It's likely the reason the Malama is hiding in Nightingale and has no interest in manifesting. I guess this creature is the same. Staying inside of another body allows it to hide from the great bounty. If we kill its host, it will be vulnerable. The great bounty will be alerted to its meddling in this world. Remy asked without thinking first. What about Suri, then? Isn't she from Arkella, too? Melody laughed, but it quickly turned into a coughing fit. After she spit out some blood, she affirmed Remy's concern. Yes, she's just afraid that if you let me go, she might be on the hook as well. Naughty girl. Breaking the rules. The creature smiled wickedly at Suri before saying the name. Suri is as guilty as me, host or no host. Suri snarled, showing a pair of razor-like teeth and red glowing eyes. I am not the same as you. I appear out of curiosity and in brief spurts using this relic. Suri motioned towards a matching amulet around her own neck. You steal men's souls and make them your slaves. Rook, she must die.
And we are given a choice. This is a decision. We either kill her or let her go. Or let her live. And it's kill Melody, Suri knows best, so we continue to heeding Suri's warning. Or let her live, she might be useful. It's not our decision to make. Man. I don't know what to do. She didn't. The attack happened when we attacked her. She didn't say anything. She didn't really strike at us. I don't know what to do. Set her free. So it's either series warning on 95 or it's not our decision to make on 96. I have no idea. I rolled this die because I forgot I was here. It's 2 away from here, which would have provoked a break attack when I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would put me in range to hit. So I rolled the die to see how much damage she would have done to me for the break attack, which she did 3. So I still won. I just made sure to do the break attack properly. Oh, where there's a will, there's a... I don't know which to do. If I kill her, so it sounds like Suri's not even supposed to be there. She's kind of hitching a ride. Geez, that's a hard fight. I don't know what to do. What do y'all think? I know there might not be a lot of people still here because I did foretell her they just lost interest. I don't know, but I need help. I don't know what to do. She might be useful for killer. I don't know what the implications are. She was put there by Malik. Ordered me to protect the basement. Malik is Remy's dad. I'm just kind of piecing this all together. I don't want to go killing stuff just because I can to get achievement. Yep, Malik Moretti. Malik is Remy's dad. And she said, Malik. Where is it? Malik ordered me to protect the basement. He doesn't like snoopers. She belongs to Malik, who is Remy's dad. Oh boy. I'm gonna let her. I'm such a chump. I'm gonna let her live. God. I'm gonna let her live because it says if I didn't let her live, I would have gotten. I said I'm gonna let her live. So if I killed her, I would have gotten an achievement, a story flag achievement. But I'm going to let her live. God, why am I doing this? 96. It's not our decision to make. Oh, barf. Should I let her live? I'm so second guessing myself. So it's 3 minutes for whatever's happening, and then a new visitor which is 8 minutes. Back to Podrex, which is 12 minutes, and then we're done. So this is foreteller for the rest of the day, but we're going back into a story round after. And tomorrow we're gonna do nothing but side quests because I owe you that for all this foreteller. For all this lore. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna let her live. I'm gonna let her live. I'm gonna hate this. It's not our decision to make.
It's not our decision to make. No. Nightingale walked past Rook, stopping inches away from Suri. She wasn't afraid, not of the fallen Melody lying in a pool of blood, and not of Rook's Esper. This great bounty thing might be important, but we don't give a damn what the rules are. Nightingale pulled a roll of bandages out of her pack, tossing it down to Melody. Melody caught the bandages, staring down in disbelief. A second later, and she hurried to work, binding her wounds as best she could, staunching the blood with tight wraps. We won't kill a defenseless enemy, Nightingale said. Violet light flickered where Suri's lower body blurred into an indistinct blur. Do you feel the same, Rook? His voice shook the room. I do. Then I'll do it. Her violet light grew brighter and a sudden breeze blasted away from her. This is why the bounty was formed in the first place. Mortals are often too weak to protect themselves. Zeke cleared his throat. No, he won't. We decided not to kill her. You got outvoted. Suri's light flickered, her whole body growing suddenly transparent. There was pain in her eyes as she looked up at Rook, along with frustration. She spun in the air with impossible speed, glowering down at Melody. You best keep your silence, intruder. Suri hovered just a few inches away from Melody. I know enough to damn you. Suri flickered once, then vanished like a candle left out on the wind. The Esper gave you good advice. Again the voice came as it had on the streets of Romstead. At least Nightingale didn't feel anything tugging at her body this time. It was only a voice urging her. A living oblivion can mean our deaths, and the death of your friends. If it reveals our presence, the bounty will not care that you were taken against your will. It will scour you for the sin of bad luck. Melody jerked sideways, suddenly looking directly at Nightingale. The writer lies to you, girl. My words could bring your death. But what of me? The great bounty could take no words from me without also strangling their canary. She laughed, and again the sound grated on Nightingale's ears. A trifecta of impossible lawbreakers we have here. Each host to each intruder as vulnerable to judgment as the others. Nightingale had to think for a moment about what Melody had said before speaking. You're saying you wouldn't turn us in? Because they'd kill you too? Melody lurched to her feet, swaying unsteadily. Not even Malik will hear me sing again, she said. My debt is paid. The Black Hand can find a new bird. Get out of her way, Nightingale called. Rook, Zeke, and Remy all stepped back, giving Melody a clear path to the ladder. Thank you. Melody met Nightingale's eyes one last time, and again her voice sounded familiar. Look deeper. Malik only wanted me to guard what was worth guarding. She gestured into the gloom, at the faint outline of an open passage against the stone. By the time Nightingale looked back, she was already gone. You think we should? Zeke asked, cleaning his weapon along the side of a rolled bundle of cloth. Might be a trap. Nightingale sighed. We don't really have a choice. If we don't, I might end up like her.
Okay. I let her live. Then it says go to a new visitor. Okay. So this one's 8 minutes. And then back to Podrick's is 12. And then I'm gonna close out the stream and tell you how the week's gonna go and all this other stuff. I won't be playing another one. This was the boss fight one. Oh my gosh, that sucked. Okay, a new visitor. I won! Oh my god!
A new visitor. They didn't have very far to walk. After 50 feet or so in a dark tunnel, they reached the end. Beyond was another stone room, though this one had a lower ceiling and far less open space. Nightingale scanned the shelves and almost couldn't believe what she saw. The room didn't hold more coins, or more precious stones, or more art. Instead, each little cubby and shelf cut into the stone had a single number carved into it. On each shelf rested something completely unique. Nightingale looked between them with open wonder on her face, staring at the array of strange objects. She saw a sword made of several overlapping layers, each one glowing a different color. A length of rope coiled upon itself and hissed at her like a living snake, while a little bag of marbles beside it seemed to grow scorching hot one minute before encrusting the nook in ice the next. My God! Rook stopped in the doorway, scanning the room. He fumbled in a pocket, drawing out the black ledger. Yeah, that's what I thought. He turned it to face them. See the numbers on the wall? They match the ones in here. Damn impressive haul, Zeke muttered, nudging the bag of marbles with a cigarette. It gradually crusted over with ice, snuffing the end out. He pulled his hand back before something worse could happen to him. Enough to get someone killed, Remy sighed. Damn, guys, I'm sorry. I think I dragged you into something awful. Nightingale touched Remy's back gently. Relax, Remy. It's not your fault. You didn't know this was down here. No, I didn't. Remy staggered to her feet, eyes wide. Can you believe it? She looked as though she was going to start throwing things onto the floor. I thought maybe it was just information. It can't be, though. This has got to be stolen. My dad's smuggler, maybe a thief, too. She lowered her voice barely above a whisper. My dad's a criminal. Nightingale reached out to comfort her again, but Remy pulled away. She spun, shoving past Rook towards the open door. No more putting up with this shit. Let's go get some answers. Remy, wait. Zeke didn't stop her physically, though he sounded pleading. If he didn't tell you before, finding this place isn't going to change anything. Remy turned, her eyes were wet. But if he was lying about this, what else could he be lying about? Forget the smuggling. We still need to save Nightingale. I'm not going to stand around and do nothing while Nightingale ends up like Melody. Grace is probably investigating all this, but we can't count on someone else solving it for us. If the Black Hand is involved, my dad and Grace aren't even making this thing official. It could take them months to find the killer. We're running out of leads, and Malik might be the last one. Nightingale looked to Rook for help, but found him engrossed in the ledger. She could still see Melody's eyes in her mind, wide and desperate with panic. Would she look like that one day? I can help you find the murderer. The Malama's voice was almost becoming familiar, but still caused her to shiver. Really? She thought back, more exhausted than angry at this point. The room, the shelves full of artifacts, even her friends started to blur into the background. As they did, something else became clear in the air in front of her. The Malama looked much as she remembered it from her nightmares, a cloud of sentient tar interspersed with flickering lights and organs. When it spoke, it never used the same mouth for more than a few words. All those eyes watched her, not seeming to see or care about anything else. I keep my bargains, mortal. Give me control for an hour, and I'll take you straight to the murderer. You can retrieve whatever leads were stolen and continue your search for Theodosian. You swear? She whispered. If I do this, I'll get my body back? Of course. Its voice grated in a discordant choir of a dozen overlapping voices. You can have your body returned as soon as the deal is done. Nightingale. Rook was suddenly right in her face, so loud her concentration faltered. The horrific shape vanished from in front of her, and the room slammed back into focus. She blinked, dazed. What? You were muttering to yourself, he shivered. We found something. Rook held up the ledger, pointing at one column. She read the word beside his finger. Hegemonics? What is that? Zeke grinned. Probably what the murderer was after. Rook says everything else in here got logged in and out. All methodical. Except this. He stepped back, gesturing at a large empty cubby. Whatever this was. The hegemonics? What kind of artifact is it? Remy asked. Rook didn't get a chance to answer. From down the passage came a distant crash, followed by the sound of shattering glass. He tucked the ledger away in a pocket, then drew a weapon, leading the way back up the passage. Nobody spoke as they crept back the way they came. Nightingale was no exception, peering up through the wooden floorboards. Someone moved above them. Someone she recognized. It was Aisling, the red-headed woman that woke them up all back at the inn. The one who was screaming at Patrick. She dashed through the house, pouring something onto the wood as she went. She didn't stay long, sprinting from room to room and making sure to spread whatever she was dumping as wide as possible. What is she doing? Nightingale whispered. Not sure, Zeke said, smelling the air. Smells like sulfur. Zeke's eyes went wide. Oh no! As Aisling left the house above them, bright orange flames took her place and smoke started to waft between the cracks. Zeke hurried to the ladder. She just lit the place up! He climbed rapidly, shoving on the hatch. It didn't budge. Rook? You want to help with this? We need to get out of here. How could she? Remy called from beside Nightingale, her eyes wide with terror. Smoke began billowing around above them, and the sound of the fire filled the room as more of the accelerant Aisling had poured went up in flames. She probably doesn't even know we're down here, Nightingale added. We gotta get out of here. We're going to burn to death. Okay, calm down. Rook took Zeke's place at the top of the ladder and braced his shoulders against the hatch. Something snapped, and the whole thing flipped open. Bright orange light shone in around him from the opening. Pretty warm up here. Looks like the kitchen is all clear, but flames are getting close. Time to move. They did. Nightingale was last up the ladder, and the smoke was thick in the air as she made it into the kitchen. She coughed and squinted as black clouds stung at her eyes. The fire already blocked the front and back door. We're trapped. Rook spun desperately. Over the counter in the kitchen, Nightingale could see a window. She jumped onto the counter and waved a hand. This way! She waved a hand and the rest moved behind her. Nightingale, be careful! Rook called from behind, but Nightingale wasn't going to wait for him. She could feel the heat on her skin, and her lungs burned with each breath. Nightingale threw herself against the glass window. The wood splintered under her weight, and the glass shattered. Nightingale fell out onto the grass on the side of the house. She helped her friends out one at a time, covering her mouth as best she could. They didn't make it more than a few steps before they dropped to the ground, breathing heavily. Zeke was the first to sit up. Guys, I know we're all in bad shape, but Grace probably has guards on the way, and I don't want to get blamed for this. Me neither, Nightingale coughed, scrambling to her feet. She helped Zeke up and turned to leave. The group set off down a nearby alley and into the gloom. I think we got our next lead, Rook said from the front. Yeah, Nightingale agreed, following at a half shamble. To Patrick's. I'd like some ale, then maybe some answers.
Okay, got out of the house. We let her live. Didn't get the achievement. Okay. We've got one more story event to go before we close it out, which is just this page right here. Just one page, front and back, so 2 pages, which amounts itself to about. This is back to Podrick's. 12 minutes. So before I do that, because I know some people will be like, well, I don't want to stick around for that, or I'll listen to it later at 2 times speed so I don't have to hear you talk and then talk slowly. What I plan to do is tomorrow, because once I finish this back to Podrick's, this is a story around Romstead Recreation will come in here. I don't have any gold to buy anything with, but I do get these 2 things because it says at the end of each encounter, if you've had this core equipped, you get 2 things. So I'm going to get some more healing and some stuff. We're going to do 2 side quests tomorrow. We're going to do Podrick's Lost Shotgun and A Curious Game. So we'll do those 2 side quests before getting back into the meat of the story. So there's a heck of a lot more to do. This goes to Make a Break. That goes to Corruption Chaos. That goes to whatever's going to happen there. Then it'll go to Ramstead Cliffside for 120, which is a fight. Once you finish that, we got lots of stuff to do. Okay, so just making sure. But we got Podrick's Lost Shotgun and A Curious Game to go through for the side quest for tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to be playing. Thursday, I haven't heard back from one of my players, so if I'll say this, if it doesn't happen Thursday where I play Ark of Horror and we get into Dunnage, I'm going to do the 400 sub celebration on Thursday. So either way, we'll find out tomorrow for sure what I'll be doing and going from there. It looks pretty good so far. It's either going to be Dunnage or the 400 sub celebration. Either way, we're going to have a good time. We're going to play some board games. You're going to ask me questions, and we'll have fun. But this will be good. All right. So I'm getting back into Podrick's, and then I'm going to be calling it for the stream. So I'll just start off by saying thank you to my Patreon members and thank you to my YouTube subscribers. Let's go ahead and finish this off. This was a lot of lore tonight, and I appreciate you sticking with me. So here we go.
Back at Patrick's, Rook was the first through the old-fashioned bar doors, shoving them aside with such force that they snapped back against the wall. He ignored the stares, ignored the confusion of the patrons. His friends kept pace with ease. While none actually marched with drawn weapons, they all had them within reach. If Patrick was in league with the one who had just tried to murder them, they wouldn't let him get away. Rook found the inn's proprietor exactly where he'd been the day before, tinkering with the intricate parts of a disassembled flintlock pistol. "Oh, hey!" He looked up, eyes flicking from Rook to the others just behind him. "You guys go to a bonfire or something? You smell awful." He leaned forward, pointing at a little door next to the stairs. "We got hot water in the showers, you know. No need to stink up the whole place." "Funny you should mention it." Remy hopped up onto the stool beside Rook, right in front of the disassembled pistol. She casually swept her hand across the table, sending the tools and delicate clockwork clattering to the floor behind the counter. "Hey!" Patrick raised his hands defensively. "You got something stuck up your ass, Moretti?" "She doesn't." Nightingale didn't sit, but she did poke up near the bar just beside Remy. Her arms and shoulders were covered in small cuts from the glass window, and Nightingale's hair was messily pulled to one side. She kept her voice very low, barely above a whisper. "But a friend of yours did just nearly barbecue us. She's a little peeved. We all are, really." To his credit, Patrick didn't try to run, though one of his hands did briefly twitch towards the bar. "I don't know what you could be talking about." Remy leaned across the bar towards Patrick, her wings wide behind her. "My father's head information broker exploded today. We were in the basement investigating when we saw that friend of yours." Rook kept his voice as low as the others, his eyes flicking up to the mirror to make sure there wasn't anyone sneaking up on them. "Aisling lit the place up with us still inside. Either you cooperate with us, or I'll see if my cousin Grace is interested in learning about Aisling trying to cook us alive." Zeke leaned casually against the bar as he spoke, puffing a great big cloud towards Patrick as he spoke. Patrick's shoulders slumped. "I can't believe she actually did it." He slipped a flask out from his belt and tossed the whole thing back. He didn't set it down again until it was empty. "Look, I don't want to talk about this here." He leaned his flask towards the single opening in the bar, leading back to the kitchen. "We can talk in the back." He led them away from the sound of drinking and song, away from the clinking glasses and happy voices. They followed Patrick through the kitchen and into another room tucked against the back wall. Rook's eyes went wide as he took in the whole space. It looked like an entire blacksmith shop had been squeezed into a fraction of the space. High windows were open all along one wall, letting in a steady stream of cool night air. It was barely enough to stop him from sweating, what with the unshielded coals of a burning forge. There was an anvil, too, and a wheel, and a sturdy workbench littered with tools. Half-forged weapons hung from hooks all around the ceiling, low enough that Rook almost put his eye out with an unfinished dagger. The others were all short enough that they weren't in danger, though. Zeke eyed the weapons warily. "Look." Patrick faced them again, hopping up onto his workbench. "I'll answer your questions. Just don't get the authorities. It would probably do more harm than good anyway." "We'll be the judge of that." Nightingale folded her arms, glowering up at him. "What did you mean she really did it? Was Aisling the one who murdered the informant?" Patrick sighed. "I tried to talk her out of it. The Black Hand might be criminals, but they don't deserve what she was planning on doing to them." "You knew this was going to happen? Was that what you were arguing about this morning?" Nightingale glanced back to see that Rook was glowering. "No, I didn't think she actually was going to go through with it. I backed out. I thought that would be the end of it." Patrick lowered his voice a little. "You say the guy exploded? She must have gotten the damn thing after all." "She found the hegemonics, you mean? An artifact of spontaneous combustion," Rook said. Patrick jerked, and there was no hiding the recognition clear in his eyes. "You know about—" He shook his head. "It's worse. The hegemonics can draw down exalted espers." "You mean—" Even Remy was taken aback. "Yes," Patrick said. "Demigods, demons. Worse. Stuff nobody should be messing with. I bet Aisling used the hegemonics when she was caught trying to steal it. Poor bastard at the estate probably died before he even felt a thing." Rook was putting the pieces together. "So you and Aisling were going to work together to steal this artifact? Why?" Patrick didn't answer for a long time. He glanced over to Remy, and the words came slowly. "Aisling lost her dad, the Black Hand." "Aren't murderers!" Remy shouted at him. "Spies! Maybe smugglers, but not assassins. My father wouldn't do that. Patrick paled. You don't know your dad very well, do you? Remy looked down at her singed shoes, but Patrick was right. She didn't really know her father. He'd only been her father for 3 years now. She didn't even know he existed before coming to Middara. But he seemed to care about her, and she liked that feeling, being loved. Patrick must have seen the look on her face and moved on. Look, the details aren't important right now, all right? The point is, Aisling's dad was killed. She blames the Black Hand and Malik. As for me, well, he looked down away from Remy and Zeke. I wanted to say that it's because I'm sick of corruption, sick of back alley deals and troublemakers vanishing in the night. Really, I just care about her. I don't want to see her throw her life away over revenge. So why steal such a dangerous artifact? Rook repeated his question. Patrick paused before speaking. I found out about it from a patron. I was hoping that if we stole the hegemonics, it would be enough proof to Balthazar that Malik was up to something that needed investigation here in Romstead, and we could get real justice for Aisling. You were trying to get my dad arrested for peddling dark artifacts? Remy blurted. Patrick only shrugged. It isn't just your dad, Remy. This goes beyond him. The Black Hand has weaseled themselves deep within Alinia's aristocracies. Remy looked furious. She moved closer to Patrick and looked like she was about to scream, but Nightingale cut her off. But you changed your mind, Nightingale offered. You didn't help Aisling steal the hegemonics. Why? Because I realized Aisling couldn't just be happy with that. She wanted revenge. She wanted to kill Malik, to hurt people. So I backed out. The end didn't really justify the means anymore. Patrick rose again, and he no longer looked nervous as he looked between them. This whole mess is at least a little my fault. I couldn't stop Aisling, and frankly, I didn't think she'd go forward with it. That means I've got to help you bring her in. Get that artifact back before the hegemonics gets used again. Really? Nightingale relaxed a little. Yeah, Patrick repeated, nodding back towards the kitchen. But not tonight. Aisling isn't going to come easy. Everything's on me. Even our bathhouse. Get clean, get fed, get rested. We can tackle this whole mess in the morning. Rook stared, searching for deception in Patrick's eyes, but he didn't find any. All right, Rook extended a hand. But in the morning, you give us everything we need to find her. I want your word. Patrick didn't hesitate, taking Rook's hand with a sturdy grip. I swear it on my inn and also my life. Tomorrow. Then he looked towards Nightingale. Also, you have some glass in your hair. Nightingale ruffled her long hair, sending small bits of glass all over the countertop. Thanks, she said, rubbing at her arms. This is bullshit, Remy scoffed. I'm not going to help you put my dad in prison. With that, Remy turned on her heels and stormed out of the small kitchen. Rook and Zeke shared a worried look, but Nightingale was the first to move after her. I'll talk to her. Nightingale spun as she moved. Thanks for the free food and beer, Patrick. Nightingale found her friend a few moments later. She'd already buried herself in the corner with a pint of ale. Hey, Nightingale said, scooting into the small booth beside Remy. She waved her hand to get herself something to drink, and then turned to give Remy all the attention she felt she needed. He's the only family I have left, Remy said softly. All of you have close friends, brothers, sisters, or 2 parents, but Malik is the only family I have now. Nightingale only nodded and listened as Remy continued. I know he's not a good person, but he's good to me. Remy took a long gulp from her beer. Isn't that good enough? Nightingale still didn't say anything. I mean, plenty of people hate Balthazar. He's not a good person. Nightingale raised an eyebrow and took her drink as a waitress brought it by. She took a sip and said nothing. I'm sorry, Remy sighed. This isn't about your dad. This is about mine. I just can't believe he's a murderer. I won't. Remy shook her head and sighed again. I'll help Patrick capture Aisling, but I'm not going to help him throw my dad in prison. There was a silence as the 2 kept drinking. Then Remy spoke up. Hey, Knight, you want to go to the baths after we get something to eat? Nightingale nodded and smiled. The next morning found them feeling much better for all that Patrick had promised. Clean, rested, and full, they practically glowed as they made their way downstairs. There were no patrons waiting for them, just plates of hot cakes and Patrick himself. The man no longer looked just like an innkeeper. He had a belt of gear along with enough weapons to compete with any of them. I hope you're ready to give us that information, Rook said when he'd finished his plates and all of his friends' leftovers, too. We're in a hurry. I'll do you one better. Patrick rose, sliding a weapon away into its holster. I'm coming with you. No offense, but you all don't really have a chance in hell of catching Aisling without me. That and... He nodded respectfully to Nightingale. Shayless would kill me if I let anything happen to you. Wait, what? Nightingale glared at him, bolting upright herself. You never said you knew my sister? Patrick shrugged ruefully. No. Well, we went to the Institute of Alinea together when we first came to Middara. Nightingale skipped over towards an impressive display case of weapons marked for sale. So, since you're good friends with my sister, and since you're also adventuring with us, does this mean that you're going to give us weapons for free? No, ma'am, Patrick said, but you're welcome to buy as much as you like. I can always use money from the pockets of royalty.
Okay, and that ends that. We're back to story round, so we're going to be doing Patrick's Lost Shotgun and A Curious Game next. So we've got some good stuff to do before we get back into everything else. Tomorrow is going to be it's jumping right into it's 102, so it's jumping right into combat. So they'll probably be like this much of lore because you got to do the setup, which is this Patrick's Lost Shotgun, but do this small piece, and then we're right into the combat instead of doing all this lore fight stuff that we did. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this. I know this is a lot. A lot of people don't like hearing all this heavy lore. I love it. I mean, we've gone through this amount of the book so far, which is great. We have still a lot more story to go. So that has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sticking with me and joining. I hope you enjoy what you see. I probably made some mistakes because there's a lot to keep track of. However, I tried to keep it as tight as possible and as controlled as possible. So if I missed something, let me know in the comments, which most likely I did. But I tried to keep it as good as I can. I almost lost everybody by sheer luck alone, nothing else. I was able to stay alive. So I have no money to shop with, but I do get 2 items because of the utility cores that both Zeke and Nightingale have. So I'll be picking up probably something to heal and another throwing knife for him because he is the same strong. And we'll go from there. We will figure it out. We will get it all done. And I won. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, my Patreons. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, my YouTube subscribers. You mean so much to me. I said I'll get this. We will do the 400 sub no matter what. So we'll make it work. But I will see you tomorrow for more Middara, where we get into more combat than we do lore, which is what you want to see, and we'll have a good time with it. Okay? Alright. Thanks for joining me. Take care of yourself. Insert comment here. See you later. Bye.